Hi everyone, it's Donna from Little Spaceman Papergraphs. Today, as promised, I thought I would bring you this tutorial for an ATB. I made this photo block after receiving an order from Gareth at G's Metal Embellishment Emporium, where I got these, and the box itself is from Fernli Designs. So this time I decided to do a bigger version. It's my mum's birthday next week, and I thought I would make her one as a gift. So I'll pop that one to one side. Now this is the bigger one that I bought. This is the 4x4 cube. This one was the 2.5 by 2.5 cube. This is the 4x4, as I say. And I've put this one together and painted it. This is actually what they start off looking like. So you just fit the edges together, glue them. What I tend to do is wrap a few elastic bands around them just to hold it in place while the glue dries. I use this glue that I get from Gareth's store. It's brilliant. So I use that, and that tends to dry really quite quickly. But I didn't want to do the tutorial from the very beginning because it would be quite boring, literally watching paint dry. So I thought I'd get to this stage. Then what you need to do is, because I'm putting feet on the bottom of mine, I only need 5 photos to cover the 5 sides rather than the 6, because I'm not putting anything on the bottom except the feet. So what I've done is, because my mum has 5 children, and I think I've lost count, I think 17 grandchildren, I think, something along those lines, maybe a bit less, can't quite remember. But I went on to Instacollage and collaged the photos up, so then that way I can fit more on rather than just having one person in an individual photograph. So you can do it with, as I say, I did it with Instacollage, you can do it with PicMonkey. There's lots and lots of free different ones you can download. So what you need to do with these is trim them to 4x4. These ones are just slightly under because I wanted to leave a little bit of room for filing and a little bit of ink distressing when they're done. So all you need to do really is decide where you want your photos and pop them on. So I'm using Mod Podge for mine. I'm just trying to work out which one I should have at the top. This one, I think. So I'm just using Mod Podge. I should have really put something underneath me while I'm doing that, shouldn't I? Let me just grab a grab a card there while I'm doing that. And you want to make sure you get it right to the edge. And it is just simply a case of sticking it onto the box. And when all this is dry, I will be overlaying it all with a final coat of Mod Podge, just to seal it. But it's just as easy as that, really. So just make sure you know which one the bottom is. I'm going to have that as my top, I think. So then I'll start on this side. I'll use this one. Do my splatting. Try and line up the bits that I've gone over, because I don't want it going onto the picture itself. So just make sure you do the edges, because the last thing you want is to have them flipping up. Although once you file them down, it does tend to seal them a bit better anyway. You also need to try and remember not to press it down if you've got Mod Podge on your fingers, because it will mark the cardstock. I just printed these out on just normal cardstock. I think it's 160 GSM I've done. I didn't do it on photo paper simply because I've tried it with photo paper before, and although the picture quality is better, when you come to file it, what happens then is that the edges sort of fray really quite badly. Well, they did with my photo paper anyway, but you know, by all means give it a go and find out what works best for you. But this was the way that I found works best, and it's actually, if you look at the project itself, it looks like it would have taken, you know, an age to complete, but really it doesn't take that long. But you do just have to make sure that everything's up the right way. See, that edge isn't down there, which is fine, because once it's sort of sanded or filed down, then I mean, it'll be absolutely fine. You almost sort of form it round the wood itself. So excuse my sniffles. I think I've got a bit of hay fever. I've never really suffered with it too much before, but it's starting to bug me a little bit. So I apologise for all the sniffles. I tend to do it now without even realising I'm doing it. So apologies in advance. Again, don't worry too much. Oh, I didn't have enough glue on there. About sealing it too much, because as I said, we'll file it and then distress it. Okay, and the last one. So I can't stress enough to make sure you do up to the edges, because I clearly missed a couple there, and I am trying to do it a bit quicker for the sake of the video. I think it's a lovely keepsake. You can see all the pictures of, you know, children growing up and things. So that was it. That's it all stuck on. It doesn't take very long at all. Okay. So I'm just going to now get a file. Now you can use a sanding block, just a bit of sandpaper. You want something that can be quite fine and get into the corner, so I'm just using a nail file, and it's actually quite a good nail file. So we just want to file those on so the edges are well stuck. And then, I mean, doing this, it almost distresses the edges anyway. I mean, if you wanted to do this, you could do it so that, like this one, I don't know if you can see there, the edges have overlapped slightly. I mean, you could do that with all of them and then just file them off. I mean, whatever you find easier. There's no really right or wrong way to do it, to be fair. It doesn't matter, like there, where the edges come off, that's fine, because we want it to have a distressed look anyway. So then we'll be able to make it more distressed when we ink it. You won't actually see me be able to do the final bit, because once the ink's on, that needs to dry for quite a while before we add the Mod Podge. So now I'll just put a final coat of Mod Podge on to finish it. I don't really quite know. I see a lot of people on tutorials adding photographs at the end of their videos of the final project, but I'm not quite sure how to do that yet. If I figure it out when I come to upload the video, then I will absolutely attach a photo of the finished project. I mean, some of my edges have lifted, which is fine, because once you put the final coat of Mod Podge on, it will seal it all in anyway. But do take a little bit of extra time to seal down all your edges. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Right, what I've got is it's like quite a light brown ink. If I just show you, see, it's quite nice actually. And I'm using one of these because last time I did it with this one, I used a sponge and it sort of was a bit too much, I think. So I thought less is more. So let's tap a bit of the excess off. I'm squeezing it so I don't go a bit too mad. So I'm just dabbing it on. To give it a little bit of a distressed look. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to do the bottom of the box, and I can finish the rest off after. It's just I want to show you how I find it easier to pop the feet on. I really need to do that before I pop the feet on. The inking off in a moment. Put that away for now. What I'm going to do is just going to give that a little blast with my heat tool to give it a little bit of a chance to dry, so excuse the noise. Just let it heat up a bit. Now, the easiest way I've found to attach the feet, the same way I did here, was to get a little tack and line your feet up. Get yourself a pencil and just mark all the holes. And then a little hammer, and just to start off, just hammer a little tack in. To start the hole off. These screws are quite good, they will go through, as long as I've got a little hole to start them off. And the last two. Okay. Let's get some screws. And my little screwdriver. It's difficult for me to see actually because I've got the tripod in front of me. So difficult to see to line it up. Just hoping for the best here. I'll tighten them all up when I'm done. I just want to get to show you the finished look. I hope all of this is still in shot. It's quite awkward with the tripod in front of me, but you know, we'll make it work. I just wanted to do a tutorial that was quite easy to follow with all the little tips and tricks that I use. Oh, this one's really awkward. I can't get it to start off at all. Glue on my fingers, ink on my fingers. Crafter's life, isn't it? Don't think I'd be happy if I wasn't covered in ink or something. Okay. Screws. And these little feet do come with the screws when you buy them from Gareth's store. And the cost of making this box is really, really cost effective. I think the little feet were £2 for a set of 4 from Gareth, and the block itself from Fernli, I think these ones are 65 pence. I'm not sure. These ones are only 45 pence, the little ones. And for something that's so inexpensive, you can make it look really, really pretty and make a lovely gift for somebody. You don't even have to use photos. You can use favourite quotes, or I had an Alice in Wonderland theme for my 40th birthday party in July, and you know, I would love something like this with Alice in Wonderland themes and quotes on and a few pictures. I think that's what I might do with my next one. As I say, it doesn't have to be photographs, it can be anything really. You've got, I don't know, somebody who loves cars, you can have car pictures on there, or any, especially girls, they like all the boy bands, so you could do one with the boy band pictures on. And I mean, there's a lot you can do with these. Right, that is by no means as secure as I would like it, but I will finish it off. But there we go, very inexpensive, very effective. It'll look better once all the edges have been distressed. But as I said, if I remember or if I figure out rather how to take a photograph and add it on to the end of this video, I will do that. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to Gareth and Fernli for these gorgeous products. I'm not too sure what the next tutorial is going to be. I will think of something. If you fancy seeing me do anything, just pop me a comment. I will pop my Facebook page link in the down bar as well. Please feel free to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, or send me a comment. I love to read them. Thank you so much, and I hope you give this a go. Have a good day. Bye.